Hi everyone, it's Darlene. Welcome back for another card video. Today I'm using my Ombre ink pad on a stamp. I'm using it with the Fishy Fun set by Your Next Stamp and the Wonky Backdrop set by Ellen Hudson. So here is my ink pad, and I've got kind of a larger stamp, so it's bigger than the width of my ink pad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink up one side, which is going to be the green side, and then I'm going to flip my stamp around and I'm going to ink up the purple side, because these are the areas that are not going to hit the ink pad when I start inking it up. So now I'm going to put this back with my purple on top, my green on the bottom. And the technique that I've been using is to just press down pretty firmly. So I'm pressing down pretty firmly and I'm moving up and down ever so slightly. And I'm going to do this, I don't know, 10 times or so, maybe 12 times. You can see I'm kind of going up and down on, in between the blue. Now I'm tapping just very, very lightly. And this is the trick that will really get your inks blending and you won't get a line of color. Is to do that light tapping after you press firmly. I froze it here because I wanted you to notice that I felt like I didn't have enough purple and blue blending. So you can always go back and add more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of push my stamp up further so my purple gets in more with the blue. So I pressed firmly a couple of times, then I did that same light tapping. I have another freeze frame here. I'm not sure you can tell in this video, but the green is really thick, and when you have a lot of ink on your stamp, it tends to ball up and not be very even. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that light tapping. So when you press hard on your stamp, a lot of the ink on your ink pad, a lot of the ink comes out, and if you do a light tap, then the ink pad absorbs some of that excess ink. Anyway, so that's what I did, and now I'm pressing it firmly down onto this piece of Neenah Solar White cardstock right in the center, and now you can see my results. I think it really came out nice. I've got nice blending in between all the colors. Next, I'm going to work on my fish. I'm going to stamp them both in Memento Tuxedo Black ink onto Neenah cardstock. And I'm really not going to do a lot of fancy coloring here. I picked V12, which matches the purple in my ombre ink pad. And I'm just going to alternate stripes between the V12 and this very light yellow that I chose. So this light yellow is going to be the common color between these two fish. And one of them will be purple for the purple in the ink pad, and the other one's going to be green, this YG25. For the green in the ink pad. And so I'm going to place them on opposite sides of my background stamp, and you'll see that in a second. So I'm just going to fill this guy in with the Y11, which is the same one I used on the other fish, and then I will fussy cut these out with scissors. Next, I'm going to trim this panel to 4 by 5 1/4, and then I'm going to take my Micron 03 black pen, and I'm just going to draw a line on all sides of this panel. I know you see me do this a lot. I just really like the look of creating a frame around the main focal point. To make it easy, I usually just go end to end and cross the lines at the corners. All right, I'm going to stamp my sentiment from the same Fishy Fun set. I'm using Hero Arts black ink right underneath my backdrop there. And then I'm going to add a bunch of Scotch foam tape to the back of this panel and adhere it to an A2 size card so I have a little bit of a white mat around it. I'm going to put some Stampin' Up! Foam dimensionals on the back of these fish. And I like the dimensionals because you can cut them into smaller pieces. So I'm going to figure out where I want these fish. So notice the purple fish is going to go in the green area, and the green fish is going to go in the purple area. So I'm just kind of figuring out, I'm just barely leaving them on the cardstock until I get everything placed, then I'll press them down permanently. So I thought this was a good way. So I've got my fish, and sentiment. So those are kind of my 3 elements around this background. Okay, so I'm going to press these down, and that is the card for today. So really it was more about using the ombre ink pad and having a nice combination of colors by adding these fish to the background. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.